Zacarias. Here's another subject that's going on. Um, Texas District Attorney, Prosecutor Armando Villalobos was sent to prison earlier this year in February, and along with a judge and a couple of people on his legal team who had racketeer cases, took bribes and lied on cases, including a lady. It's a Latina area lady whose daughter was killed by an East Indian man. They knew he went back to India. They took bribes from us. One thing, she's trying to get justice, and I thought Armando Villalobos was crying in court, and she's still seeking for justice for her daughter being killed by this East Indian man who went back to India. Is in southern Texas. Yes, it's like the valley area where he was prosecuted. And there are a couple of cases I want to mention. If you ever heard me sing, "Tu estúpido romántico, tu preso del amor." Okay, one of my old videos I did back in 2011. Yeah, okay. It was the first time I got my apartment, and I was still staying in my family house and apartment at the same time. Well, I was still staying most of my family house, so I moved everything the next year in 2012. That song came from Grupo Mas, a Tejano artist group. 1995, I was just turned 16 years old, and I was listening to Tejano music at the time. We was doing the year tragic death of Selena, who had passed away tragically from being killed by her fan club president and also her store manager. She has Selena stores in Corpus Christi and in San Antonio, Yolanda Sadeva. And I already listened to Selena like 2 years and maybe make it a half a year, because it was 93 when I started listening to her. And in 94, and I remember Amor Jodido album. And I didn't know who Grupo Mas was until 95. So I was taking Spanish class. I already listened to Spanish music time. Well, during the time, I was in high school, and I was singing "Tu Estúpido Romántico." "Estúpido Romántico" is the name of the song by Grupo Mas, and Joe Lopez, or Jose Lopez, Joe Lopez, who was the leader of Grupo Mas. Jimmy Gonzalez was on that group as well, who is now the lead singer since Joe Lopez got locked up. Joe Lopez, I did not know about this until I came back in 2007 in Houston. And 2009, I was working with Welfare Office on Telephone Road. Everybody know me. I was the one who was speaking bilingually. That was me, who was the greeter at the Welfare Office on Telephone Road. A Latino man, Chicano man, was telling me that I was singing the song "Tu Esto Romántico" in 2009. And he tells me that, yeah, he's stupid romantico. He got locked up. Talking about the group leader, Joe Lopez. I did not know that he was convicted in 2006. I was in El Paso, Texas, in the in Chucotown, right there by Juarez. So that was, but they call it Juarez, and because Juarez is outside of most to call outsiders call Ciudad Juarez. I know it's named Ciudad Juarez, but they call it Juarez, right next to El Paso, the border of United States, which is Texas, United States, and Mexico, which is the U.S. Mexican border, Rio Grande. Didn't know about this at all, because, like I tell people in El Paso, they need to bring more Tejano artists there. Everybody know who Selena was. Everybody know who media artists, but mostly it's banda. Oh Lord, I love Gina Rivera, but I don't like banda that much. 10 years ago, when I went to El Paso for Job Corps and for college later on, I stayed there for 3 years, and I got used to it. But I really love Tejano, because I grew up listening to Tejano as I was growing up in my teen years. And I know the difference between different Latin music: salsa, merengue, cumbia, norteño, marachi, excuse me, and banda mostly famous in California, but then I know it'll be in Texas and El Paso. Not as famous here in Houston area, but back then when I was coming up, I heard banda. But it was, I didn't know what it was. That was Tejano as well. But as I started listening to, being around a lot of Mexicanos, a lot of Latinos, I started to know the different styles of Latin music. So, anyway. So, in the 10th grade, I'm 16. Tú estúpido romántico. My Jaracho. My amigo Jaracho, Alpha Mestizo, I call him mi hermano, my brother. He's Camero, dark Mexican. Camero, complete like myself. You know, wide nose, thin lips, naturally straight hair. From Veracruz, Jarochos, they call him Jarochos from Veracruz, taught me to sing that song. He taught me the song. And while he's learning English, I'm learning Spanish. And we're both in choir class, and we both sang together in choir. And we was best friends. And so that's where I learned song. But then so I'm letting y'all know how I learned about Grupo Mas, and I started listening to more artists, Elsa Garcia, Emilio, all those different artists, Los Chamacos, Hometown Boys. I knew who Selena was, but I didn't know who the artist was. And I started listening to La Tropa F, started knowing some of the songs on my Pandora. I said, wait a minute, that was them, because I would listen to it as I was 14 years old, 13, 14 years old, 15, 16 as well. Then I know who the artist until the DJ would say their name. So Grupo Mas, who Grupo Mas was when I was 16 back in 95. And I never thought this would ever happen to Joe Lopez. And so when the man had told me in 2009, when I was working temporarily at the welfare office on Telfair Road in Houston, Texas, I did not know that he was convicted. Remember, the news didn't go to El Paso in 2006. And I was in college. I didn't look at the news because we didn't have that much media in our Job Corps. I was in Job Corps, and I was in the college program, which I got more news from the newspaper, more news from the looking in the all the time at Paso Community College, but never thought that. And I remember I listened to Hano music, but it wasn't the same like it was when I was growing up. It was on like a Pandora type website, but I mostly hear reggaeton. And I was listening to hip hop. I would listen to old school Tejano, but I did not listen to the Tejano. I mean, DJ King, yes, that's popular because of AB, of course. But the really true Cajento artist was not famous at the time. Was not recognized. Their music was not recognized at the time in El Paso. So I did not know about Joe Lopez being accused for child molestation to a 13-year-old. In 2006, I got back 2007, 8, 9. Here I am talking to some man who's Chicano, who's Tejano, told me that he was locked up. An older man, like middle-aged or elderly, not too elderly, but middle, about 50, 60, about my dad, mom age, whatever. But I did not know that. So of course I thought he was guilty. But when I started to look at the cases, and I saw one interview that was typed. I want to see video and audio, y'all. Please do that in English and Espanol. Please do it. From Armando Burr. And I know who he is. Talked to him on the phone before. It's me, Zacarias. Yes, back in 99, 98, because I saw your oh my God, I saw your commentary on Houston Chronicle, and especially on Sundays. So it's me, Zacarias, Armando Burr. I remember you all those years in the 90s. Look at your commentary about Latin styles, not only Tejano, salsa, merengue, cumbia, all these different artists. And I know about all our records. All the records in Nueva York, in New York City, they mostly did like, the Rican type, the Latin music. And I was singing Tejano. I wanted to cross over, and I wanted to make big fame by doing both styles, in English and Spanish. So I said my demo tape did not respond back in 98 of me singing Costumbres. I still have the tape of me singing that song too. I recorded it. No, Como la Flor. That's the one that you see. The one that used to be in the gallery here in Houston, long time ago, back in the 90s. There used to be a man who was like a DJ. You can record music by singing the song, and they'd give you a tape, and you can make copies of it. We had cassette tapes before we had the CDs and stuff. So I didn't have no money to make a CD and stuff, and So back in '98, I kept the tapes in '98. It was '97. I was graduating in '98. So I went to the gallery. I kept a copy. I made a copy of it. I sent to get some. The one that said Cruz was under. I forgot that the scholarship in Florida, they didn't have a Latin category, but I was hoping they would go ahead and let me sing in Espanol because I wanted to break a barrier, and I didn't get the scholarship because I went to New York. And I could went to Dramatic Arts Academy, whatever I wanted to go to, and probably didn't go because God willing, I did not want to get God rest the souls of those who were 9/11. So now the reason why I'm bringing this up is because now I'm seeing that Armando Villalobos got arrested for falsifying records, bribery, lying, racketeering. These cases, it remind me of Madea going to jail situation with the light skinned lady. I think she's part Latina and black, probably. So the woman that played, remember Keisha Knight Plum was the prostitute. Keisha Knight Plum was the one who played Rudy from Cosby Shows. Yes, her. Remember her, the light skinned lady. I forgot her name. Davis. Her last name was David. Laura Day. Whatever her name was in the movie, and she had falsified Madea records and Keisha Knight Plum records in the movie. So this remind me of what Armando Villalobos did. And Joe Lopez has been saying that he's innocent. He had nothing to do, nothing sexual with the 13-year-old girl. They say they found her sperm. But remember, many cases here in Houston, it's happened before, DNA labs can be disgustingly distort evidence. And if you have people who are wicked in the legal system, they will do it for themselves. This is the reason why that I'm going to talk about this. I think that this man, Armando Villalobos, and all his team and friends should be locked up more than 15 years. I think it's 15 years. Make it 1,000 years, because it's wrong to do this to someone else's case, especially when someone's trying to be innocent, especially of a horrendous crime, sexual abuse. Because we don't want sexual abusing people to be walking around here and think that they are okay with what they're doing, especially if they're not remorseful for what they've done. So, and they plan on doing it again. So this man did not do it. Okay, not because of celebrity status. Same thing I said. I stood with Michael Jackson on the case and knew he was innocent. I'm sticking with Joe Lopez on this as well. And then two, I'm going to bring it up, and I'm sure that I saw on some news media that Carlos Croy case, Beto's SPM South Park Mexican case. Now, and I read on the affidavit online that Texas State says someone who is accused of sexual abuse, they can be locked up without no evidence. This is state law. It need to be changed. They had to have evidence. It's the same with Michael Jackson case. They had evidence to prove that he was innocent. The one thing that Carlos Croy got convicted was because his baby mama, I would like to say her name, but I'll go ahead and not say it for a legal situation. She was, according to some people on YouTube, they're saying that his baby mama, who's my age, okay, back when I was 14, 13 years old, she was a stripper. Doggone, I could have been a stripper a long time ago too, for the Lopez Club. Nope, let me stop. She had had sexual relationships with Carlos Croy, thinking that he was 18. Thinking she was 18 years old. Thinking she was 18, she was 14. She had fake ID. It's common. It can happen, because when I was in El Paso, Texas, anybody know about the Naked Harlem? The white woman, I'm sorry to make them in the race, she was in charge of that club in Naked Harlem. She had ministers, priests, police officers, law enforcement, people in the legal system, people from business, going to that to get oral sex for cash and records, credit cards. She had underage girls working for her, and she got convicted for more than 20 years in prison. I laughed. I never like to laugh at someone getting in trouble with the law, but I laugh because she know better. I had no about 18. If there's my kids working it out, I could have acted a fool in that courtroom if she was to sit there and act like she would get away with it. I would act a fool. They had to hold me down. When I would train my daughter, not this is the past 4 days, they have to follow that. I train my kids to do that, okay? But God forbid, let's say hypothetically my daughter and I don't have kids yet, to work in some stupid club like that at underage, I would have got on that woman's behind like crazy if I allowed her to do that. So it can happen. So I'm bringing up that case. Well, I show evidence somewhere I saw last year or this year that Armando Villalobos had something to do with that case with Carlos Croy. There was no evidence to show that she was the 9-year-old girl who's now adult now was because they'll be making about, let's see, it was 2012. 2002 she was 12. Get the 2 and 12 get mixed up. 2002 she was 9 years old. That means 2012 she was 19. 2003 she was 10. 2013 she was 20. She'll be 21 now. Okay, she's a grown woman. Okay, according to some evidence, some rumors going around to the grapevine that her mother was Carlos Croy's ex-girlfriend. His friend was married or had some involvement with the baby mom, with the woman who accused him for doing this to her 9-year-old child, who's now adult. He had no reason to do this, but he cheated. She cheated on him or cheated on her man with Carlos Croy, SPM. So to get back at him, she allowed her 9-year-old to go be friends with his 7-year-old or 5, whatever year old little girl, his daughter. They stayed at the house. So by them eating menudo, and I never ate menudo. Okay, my great aunt, I'm not Hispanic at all, y'all already know that, but my great aunt on my grandmother's, my paternal grandmother's side, her sister cooked menudo. I would not eat it. It's just when I first saw menudo was 10 years ago in Job Corps. 10 years ago at El Paso Job Corps, and I saw those my grandma's soup. My grandmother cooked menudo, but it looked like her soup, and I never ate. She's a good cook, but I don't eat her soup. So when I saw it, I was like, ugh, I didn't care if it was Mexican, black cook, whatever. And I later on found out that my great aunt, before she died, cooked menudo. Okay, so I still wouldn't eat it. But point is, I know it's lied. If it's, anybody correct me if it's cow intestines or pig intestines. One pozole, one of them. I know from eating chitlins, you will have a bad stomach ache. Trust me. Okay, so remember, pig intestines, we call that chitlins. Okay, so if it's pig intestines, it's menudo, that's chitlins, soup. We got a lot in common. Anyway, we trying to act like we don't, but we have a lot in common besides the bloodline. Anyway, okay, because we know about my stories, about stuff I brought up on that issue, okay, about the mixing in Mexico and all that, okay. My point is, eating chitlins, cow intestines, pig intestines, soup will make your stomach hurt. So her stomach was hurt. It took 10 days for them to say that she went to CBS and said that her daughter was molested by Carlos Croy. It was to get back at him for not giving her money, whatever. So the Carlos Croy's sister, is it Sandra Croy? I think her name's Sandy, whatever her name is, she said that it was all about money. Okay, so he kept saying this. But when they brought out about the baby mama, I think she was a white woman, by the way. Yeah, because she has an Anglo last name. She came up and said, excuse me, who the boy ought to be 20 years old. He ought to be 21, 20, whatever. I have his baby, and I was 14. Then a couple girls who probably was lying about the age, consent, lying about their ages. This is what I'm hearing from the sources. Said this. So Texas State saw him, a man of color. Sorry to say this, it had to be racial. Because if it was a white man that done this, it would not have been as extreme. A Latino man, even a black man, or whatever. I'm not saying he's black. I'm saying a man of color. Oh, okay. And it's a white woman, because she has an Anglo, unless she's part Hispanic. I cannot say this, okay? Oh, well, you show is guilty. So they slammed him down. And he was convicted for child molestation. Convicted from rape on the molestation with a 9-year-old girl, along with the cases of the 14-year-old. Because even if you are of age, if you have been raped into a certain jurisdiction of the Texas law, if it's on correct me legally and extremely correct interpretation, you can still be convicted for the crime that happened to that person when they was underage. So he's in prison, and I was on his side until a lot of folks on the bus, I don't forget, what bus was that? 40? Yes, bus 40. Was it bus 40? 85 or 36 in the Northwest side. We're going to the Northwest Transit Center, and a Latina lady, and I thought she was Mexican, but she was darker Latina lady. I told her she liked Selena a little bit, but she was Puerto Rican. A Mexican man, he 19 was a Mexican, Latino man that was on the bus. A white man and the African American man was on the bus, and they both was talking about the case, and they said he was convicted of Potomac College Court. And I was scared to say that I believed that he was innocent because everybody was slamming this man. And then I started saying, you know what, maybe he is guilty. But right now I'm starting to have second chances, because I would never want to take side of someone who's a child molester. But if a person is falsely accused and something that happened by lies and bribe, and this is a Villalobos situation, then plus if the woman who is now my age lied and said when we was 14, 13 back in the early 90s, because trust me, I wanted to be one of those teenagers to see a fine older woman, especially if they was 18. I had that mindset too. I couldn't lie because I had a baby face and everything. I still look young at 34. But I remember back when I was 14, wanting to go with a woman, especially a fine woman. Even sometimes, Chris Pettis don't get upset. Even I sometimes say that I wish I met Selena. Okay? Alright. Okay, someone fine like Mariah Carey. You know what I'm saying? I was one of them teenagers. I never done it. I did say that I was 18. They found out at school when I was 9th grade in 94, 95. Oh, the girl said, oh, you not. Everybody said, yeah, Zach is not 18. He 15 years old. Quit lying, Zach. So the point is, so if she did lie, they need to make a law for that. Teenagers who lie about their age, who do look older, because I meet people who are 18 years old and look older than me, and I'm 30. I'm serious. When I never forget, I was on the bus and I was going to the war source in the southeast, in Harrisburg location. There's a dude with beard, I'm serious, with long ponytail, and they said the seniors was Austin High School. This dude looked older than me. And then when I was one of my friends who just turned 19, okay, I met this person from a restaurant, because when I was coming from school, my homegirl was the manager, and we all would talk when they closed, because something almost happened to me on my way from home. Okay, so I'm not gonna go in detail. I did call the cops on the people, but they did not catch them. So anyway, so at nighttime, late night, coming from school, from the bus, I was there. So one of the guys who was 18, I swear, if you saw, he'd be 20 years. We're both Leos, because I went to his birthday party. Okay, my homegirl, she was there. She, her 20s. His uncle never. Well, anyway, so we had folks over there. So this dude looked older than me. I swear, I never thought. I saw he was in his 20s. I said, dude, I'd be 19. So we at the restaurant, and they all closing up, and we all talk about different issues and stuff. Plus, one of the managers was the same age. I thought they was in his 20s. I said, well, y'all, I'm gonna be out there. What the heck? So they'll be 20 this year. Okay, so anyway, but I swear, if you saw them, you would think I was the same age as these folks, or they were. You would not think they'll be something. If I was a teenage dad at their time they were born, I'll be that father. Man, that's crazy. I swear, and you see folks who are 20-something years old who look older. So I'm just saying, you can't always say, well, you can tell a person her their age. No, you can't, especially with these folks who are maturing. I remember when I was in teenage time, okay, back in the 90s, And the girls will look developed. I swear, they put on the sexy dress. You thought that was a grown woman, and they what? Okay, so that can happen. I'm serious, especially when that's why we was told in high school, and I didn't have enough hair because of Indian blood. Okay, until I got in my 20s, I started shaving out, coming like just like my father. We heard that Choctaw on her my great grandfather's side. Okay, they wasn't Indians, not the Native Americans, not the hairy. So it's mostly black and white folks. We got that DNA. We were all three, but I didn't have to worry about shaving until I got the job. Quote, yes, in 10 years later. But when I was in high school, nah. Middle school, no. They told us the reason why the men had to shave. And I said, excuse me, why? But I was very, very liberal about that. I was like, why? One of the male teachers told me because the young men, or who are teenagers, who are not even the students, they feel they are grown just like the older men, so they are taught to any kind of way because they have the goatee and they have the hair, so they want to shave them, mentally make them look like they think like they're children. Try to make them brainwash them to a child. It depends. I understand you want to put somebody in their place, but don't do that. Let them enjoy their adulthood. Let them enjoy not adulthood, but let them enjoy to be growing up to be adult. Okay, I think folks need to understand that. I mean, I understand in jobs you cannot have a hairy doggone place. Okay, you gotta prepare the young people and those who are in vocational or whatever school to become an adult and be prepared for the business world. But let's not try to shave their face so they can try to act like they're little bitty kids. I mean, that's stupid. So that's why I'm letting you know that it can't happen. That there are folks who are teenagers or who are early 20s who look older than me. I swear. When I was in my recording art school, I was shocked to meet those who were 20, who better just turned 21, who's now was 10 years old and 11, and they were babies, and here they are looking like they're in their 30s. I'm not lying. When I was in Job Corps 10 years ago, and I'm meeting folks, I'm 20 something, and they're barely just 17, 18, 19, and they look older than me. I'm like, something ain't right here. And then folks would tell me, like one of my homies who lives in the Panhandle, who's from the Panhandle, talk with a deep voice and everything. Born 87. When he turned 80, he said, I've been through a lot in my life. I'm not gonna say his name, but he's married and got a child. I ain't got that yet. I'm older than him. Yep. So that means he was born 87. That means he's 27. Right. 20, yeah, he's 20. Anyway, so point is, I just want to let you know that I'm not trying to take side. If Carlos Cora did sexually abuse these women intentionally, then I'm not on his side. But if the girl who's my age, the baby mama, okay, 19, the white woman, because she have an Anglo last name, okay, if she, she adopted, if she did lie about her age and back in the 90s, I wanted to get a fake ID to go to a club too, okay? They was very rampant. They talk about on doggone talk shows like Sally and Oprah. Hello. If she did do that, then that's not on his fault. You know what I'm saying? Because he had the impression that she was 18. And 18-year-olds do look young. Women do, okay? So, so you can't sit there and say that, oh, well, he intentionally did it because he should know how old she was. No. If these folks are looking like they're grown, they got makeup on, and they're dancing in a club, and I met people who have told me that some clubs did allow, the bouncers did allow, I'm talking about those who are my age now, who told me when they was young in the 90s, if they allowed them to come into the club, underage, by their consent, that's against the law. That means that person does not know, the person who adult do not know if they, because you don't expect to see no children, no teenagers, unless they're 18 older, but they're not 18, they should not be there. And it should be against the law for those who are teenagers pretend to be adults, because when you have people like this who don't know, who actually will sleep with a person, have sex with them, or have some type of contact with them, that know it's against the law, and they're thinking they're adults, that should be against the law as well. So my point is, in this case, and not to go off the subject, that the Carlos Cora case, SPM, in Global Minds, Jose Lopez, known as Joe Lopez case, if it was done by Armando Villalobos, and these cases were racketeered and they were lied and it was for a bribe, and it's, my heart goes out to the woman, the elderly lady whose daughter who was killed by the East Indian man, and he bribed them to go back to India. Okay, there should have been, and I'm glad those folks in that legal team that's friends of his should be locked up for 1,000 decades because those people's innocence. You know what I'm saying? That's not right. That's not right. You put other folks' life on line like that. So they should, and I think the case, just like California, we did the Michael Jackson case, they found that he was innocent. So there's a YouTube video. If y'all want me to look it up, I have showed it to folks on my private Facebook, and I'm not public because I never got into that subject. But I told people who felt, especially the one who told the deep voice, the guy from Java who lived in Panhandle. I told you that Michael Jackson was innocent because the young man that was on that tape, who was 13 back in 92, when it was, and we saw it in 90. Why he said 92? Well, he was born in 93. Yeah, he had been born he had been born in 87, 89, 80 and 1990. So he's saying 93. It's in 2003, and back in 2002 and in 2003. When we saw it in January or February that year, and then later on Michael Jackson was arrested. Well, you know he's a fugitive. You know that guy, I don't want to say his name, because I can say his name. You know that he changed his name, and he admitted to one of those celebrity news articles that Michael Jackson never did do it. Everybody believed that. He was bribed by his mom. So the point is, they did every detail to see if the man was guilty. Well, state of Texas, without evidence mess has got to go. Because you have folks who do lie. You have folks who put people's lives online. People who are innocent of crimes they did not commit. Especially a sexual abuse crime they have been falsely accused. And they have folks who do make their children lie for them. And the person who do this perjury should be put in bars. Okay? Put in the bars. That's right. Okay? Because we want to get these pedophiles, these sex offenders off our streets, but we cannot have people lying on folks who are not, okay, who are not sexual offensive people, okay. So I wish that people stop trying to be do the witch trial mess, okay. We're trying to get to a state where we not do that type of mess. If they are accused of, rightfully accused, yes, put them behind bars. But they're not. They need to go free, okay. And they need to be more careful who they associate. Just like Michael Jackson not associate with the people he no longer have children, trying to be a doggone child in a man's body. He should got help. One thing in the minority communities, and not to talk bad about Latino and African American community, but we stop thinking that cancer does not help us. It should not help us as white folks. That's not true. Michael Jackson should have get some counseling. What happened to him when he was a child? Okay. Cannot be a child. I cannot even want to. I scream when people try to make me live like a child in adults' mind. And that's true, because when I was getting out of Job Corps, when I was going to Job Corps, everybody was telling me to stay at home. I'm like, excuse me, I'm a grown something. When I turned 18, I prayed. I thank God for being 18 to be grown. I don't want to be a doggone child. Leave that childhood mess in the past. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. It's time to be a grown man. Be around grown folks. Do grown folks. Do big boy things. Well, no, let's be big man things. Be grown man things. Leave that big boy stuff alone. Leave the child stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's what he should have done. So, but in this California, it was very fair to investigate every detail of the case. DNA, all the stuff. Okay, same thing with the Texans need to do the same thing. It's wrong. I think we need to write to President Obama, since we voted for him, to get this the cases rechecked. All the cases that Villalobos was a part of, okay? Because if he did racketeering, he did all these false cases, he did all this stuff, and his team did it. Whoever involved in the party, if it's someone in part of the state, should be locked up for messing up these cases. Okay? So I didn't mean to make a 34th video. I hope you enjoyed my time. I'm hoping that I gotta take my medication for me. Oh, it's so hot in here. I turn the air conditioner off so you can hear me. Air conditioner. That's my fan. It's air conditioner. I'm here poor. Yo soy pobre. No quiero pobre más. Yo quiero ser rico. Ah, yo río sobre eso. Yo río que yo soy rico. Okay. Yo sea rico. Sorry. Let me say that again. Oh Dios, yo rezo que yo voy a ser rico. Yeah, I do. Because I want to have kids. I want to have 10 children. I want to get married and have 10 children. I'm going to not use contraceptions and abortion. I don't believe in that. Okay, so when I get married to my woman, whoever this Mrs. Right is, okay, so that's why I want to get rich and I want to have the best. I'm not gonna spoil my kids because I was spoiled, and it's not. Folks stop wanting to be spoiled because the folks who spoil you, they give you demands that you don't want to have. Okay, so get your own. Okay, so point is, I wanted to go ahead and talk about these 2 cases. So you think those who watching my video that Villalobos cases, the case that Villalobos were part of, should be all examined. Extremely examined. It's extreme investigation. Every detail, every rumor, every secret, every doggone thing. Especially in the case of Joe Lopez from Group of Minds and also SPM. If he did have any involvement, I'm looking for it because I saw it last year that Villalobos was part of the case. He's a district attorney of the prosecution team besides Miss Lisa Andrews. So they need to go ahead and do a very extreme, intense investigation, because if these men are truly innocent, they should be out. I'm sorry. Okay, only God knows the truth, but as men can show much evidence to show that he's innocent and have the correct, good prosecution team, good defense lawyers, and anybody that's wicked and twisted in the mind and who's gonna be this, we need not to work with them. I think they need to do examination on the Bar Association as well. Okay, so look at those 2 cases, y'all. These 2 men say they're innocent to think it, and they never say they done these situations they was accused of. Only SPM got accused because of the woman who's 19 Caucasian. I'm sorry to use race into it because Texas is a racist state. Okay, who at 19 lied, had to lie. I mean, I couldn't be over the age 18 sleeping with someone's 14 and largely, okay? I couldn't do that, okay? If it is true and she did lie and she didn't, in his own birth records, why did the parents go to the court? There's one thing I don't understand. Why did the parents allow this man to get away with this if he gets this? One thing, you look at the parents. If I know that my daughter snuck somewhere and had, lied, I wouldn't, I will go ahead and get her in trouble. I'm sorry. But if I know that the guy knows that she is not of age to have sex or relationships with, I'm sorry. If I put him on the records, get him in jail. He should be locked a long time ago. But if they did not put him in prosecution, and she knew, and she tricked him, and it's all about money, then they need to do an extreme investigation on these people. And then 2, and they need to open, because the woman is 18 now, over 18 now. The one who's accused of the 9-year-old who was accused, I understand it's embarrassing because, like I say, if he did do it, then I cannot be on his side. But if he did not do it and she was bribed, just like the Michael Jackson case, the guy from Michael Jackson case, then she need to come out forward and say and tell the truth. I'm sorry, you cannot lie on someone's life like that. If he did not touch you, tell the truth. Okay? If he did touch you, then I'm on your side. Okay? So, I'm just telling like it is. But these cases, 2 men are still saying in prison, I did not do these cases, and then a whole Joe Lopez sperm come out to be shown that it wasn't part of on her underwear, because that meant that somebody else was with her, not him. Okay? And at 13 years old, please, kids, stop having sex out of marriage. You're not old enough to do that. And if an adult try to do it to you, call the police. Do whatever you can. Fight. I would teach my kids to fight. Kick in the nuts. Hello? Doggone it. I would. Shoots. Anyway, I'm sorry. If an adult deserve it, if he is doing that, if she doing that too, kick her in the breast, whatever. I'm sorry. If I was a little boy or a teenager and I say, leave me alone, you know what I'm saying? Hey, the woman and the man should never done in the first place. But these men are saying they are innocent to thick and thin about these cases. And they're trying to push appeals, and they're being denied then they need to, and this man who was part of the case, I'm talking about Villalobos. Villalobos was wicked and also twisted. Yeah, he should cry. Okay? Then they need to do investigation on him. They need to add more time for all involved in these cases. And then they too need to let these men go free if they found extreme, pure, true evidence that they're innocent. Okay? Alright, thank you for listening to my 40-minute video. And say the prayer for the people, the victims. If they are true victims, say a prayer for them, they'll heal. If they're not true victims, whoever is involved, who lied, who did this, and also who did it, racketeering and everything else should be put all part in the system, locked up. And if the judges knew they were wrong, lock them up too. I'm sorry. You want to be tough? We'll be tough along with you. Okay? And let's see how it is when you lie with the law. You don't slide either. I should be a lawyer. Lord, I'm thinking about doing that once I get my entertainment career. Hey, Armando Rivera did it. He's not, well, if he did it, I can do it too. Alright. Thank you so much for listening to my case. Listen to my my video about these cases. And have a nice day and have a good morning. Because it is morning after 12 o'clock. And to all the fathers who are good fathers, happy Father's Day. To men, not to women. I'm making a tape about that too, because it's going around saying, telling folks like Ludacris and also the rapper Ludacris. What's the other woman name? She's mixed with Asian and black. Kamala Lee Simmons is going around saying to women who are, no, they have a doggone Mother's Day. I'm going to do a video on that too. That's not right. Okay, so if I'm a single father with two kids or more, and I should get Mother's Day privilege? No. Dang, what's wrong with these folks?